Hello everyone, this is Jill Hager with some very important mClass updates for the 2014-2015 school year. We're going to start with benchmark assessments. This year, kindergarten through third grade will do DIBELS and TRC benchmark testing during the beginning, middle, and end of the school year. Remember that third grade will also be doing the day's assessment in conjunction with DIBELS and TRC. Fourth through fifth grade will test TRC only for beginning, middle, and end of the year. Also this year, the teacher of record will not be assessing their own students in kindergarten through third grade. You will be assessing another teacher's class in your grade level for each benchmark period, beginning, middle, and end. See your instructional coach for a calendar of who will be switching with who for the school year. This is the progress monitoring schedule that we will follow for the 2014-2015 school year. As you can see, the gray boxes indicate the benchmark testing windows, which are beginning, middle, and end of the year. Also, the red boxes are your intensive students who will be progress monitored every 10 days. The yellow boxes represent your strategic students, which will be progress monitored every 20 days. The green boxes represent the benchmark students who will be progress monitored once between benchmarks. And then the blue boxes represent above benchmark students, which will need to be progress monitored once between benchmark periods, just like the green students. This is a chart with the TRC cut points for each grade level. As you can see here in first grade, the beginning of the year, if they're level B or below, they are far below proficient. If they're level C, they're below proficient. D, proficient, and E or above, they're above proficient. Now, if you want to see a specific breakdown of the cut points for at-risk, you can click on this chart and it gives you the specific breakdown for each DIBELS test, and you can also see here the grade level span across the bottom. So if you want to know the cut points for each one, like here at the middle of the year, I can go up and see that the cut points are, the goal is 17, and 8 is the cut point for at-risk. Located in several places for your convenience are some Reading 3D tutorials that you may want to watch as a refresher when you get ready to give your assessments this year. So if you click on this link right here, it will take you to the Read to Achieve Live Binder. Once you get to the Read to Achieve Live Binder, if you will click on this tab that says Reading 3D Tutorials, and then you can see the name of each DIBELS assessment across the bottom. So if you just click on one, it will take you straight to the video and you can begin watching the particular video for phoneme segmentation fluency or whatever video you need to view. Also on this page as well, there's the Reading 3D support. And if you click on that tab, it can take you to all of these different pieces of Reading 3D that can support you in any way. If you look right here, these are frequently asked questions. And if you click on that, you will find the document that has all of the different questions people have when they use TRC or mClass, and those questions are located here on this live binder. So please feel free to click on either one of these to view that document and to go to the live binder. Now, here are some things to remember when you're doing your written comprehension. Remember, we do the written comprehension after we've done a reading record on a student or a TRC. Do not read the written comprehension questions to the student. Students can use the book during the written comprehension assessment. Remember that both comprehension components in the book, or both comprehension questions, must be completed on each child. Be sure to use the rubric in the book to score the writing. Make sure the written response follows the standard, which is located on the written response rubric. Also, remember when you give the two written comprehension components, that you will take the lowest score of the two written comprehension pieces. And that would be, of course, the lowest score total. So, for example, if Carla scored a 2 on the first written comprehension piece and then scored a 1, the final score would be a 1. Here are some more reminders for you with the written comprehension piece of TRC. It's only required for benchmark books levels F and above. So keep in mind that the expectation for the end of the year kindergarten is D, which does not require a written response. Then, after the reading record is complete, you will prompt the student to read the rest of the text silently if it's not already been read aloud. And then they will complete the comprehension questions. However, it's the teacher's choice as whether to administer the written or oral comprehension first. Students are allowed to refer to their books while completing the written comprehension task. So remember to give the book to the student when they're doing this particular written comprehension task. And then a student in kindergarten or grade 1 at the beginning or middle of the year who reaches a certain level and has trouble writing, they can dictate their answers to the assessor. So keep in mind, kindergarten or first grade at the beginning and the middle of the year can have dictate to scribe for their answers. So why is written comprehension important? Research says if we ask young children to write and draw in response to their reading from the beginning, they will be able to use this tool in response to reading and to expand their own thinking about text. And that comes from Teaching for Comprehending and Fluency, which is by Fountas and Pinnell in 2006. And remember, Fountas and Pinnell, those are the guided reading levels that we use. Here are some resources to help with the written comprehension piece, because remember they say the more students do this, the more successful they are. So you can click on these different resources and they will take you to several summary tools. Like this one in particular takes you to the something's purpose but then so. And then it also takes you to the fiction one that says someone wanted but so then. And it gives you the specific answer below that you can use as a model for the students. Then here are some guiding questions that Kathy Bumgarner also has. So if you click on this, you can see that she has these little bookmarks here for informational text and also for fiction text. And beside each piece, sorry that went away, beside each piece you can see the questions that you can specifically ask the students or that they can ask each other. So feel free to use these bookmarks and these roadmaps to help the students improve. There's also a text evidence document. We have found that our students with the Common Core are having a hard time finding text evidence to support their answer. So this particular document is really good. It's called SLAM, and it's there to help you extend your responses. So it says state part of the question in your first sentence, and then locate evidence from the story. And it says in the story it says, and then this proves. And then add your own ideas. In my opinion, I can relate to this. And then you can see the M, which is make a meaningful conclusion or connection. So these three pieces will help students when they're trying to identify specific evidence from the text when supporting their answers. There's also double entry journals, and these journals, they can on the left side specifically put from the text what they found in the question, but then they can also put on this side what they're thinking. So from your mind, you're thinking this. So for example, on this side from the text is a problem or a conflict. So over here in your mind, you're thinking a discussion of reactions to the text. So that's something that you might do to get reactions from the text. So double entry journals are another good way to do summaries. Also, here are some other great resources that you can go to, and they have specific posters that you can use when you're teaching the Common Core. Here's another example of a double entry journal, open-minded portraits, finding the big ideas in text. All of these things can help support written response and oral retell when students are working on comprehension. Also, here's the link to the mClass question stems. And in this document, it gives you each specific level, and you can see if you scroll down, it gives you each question underneath all those levels. And so these students can improve their written comprehension if they can work on these question stems in written response. The other piece we're going to talk today about are MSVs. And MSV stands for meaning, structure, and visual cues that students are using when they read. So you can see right here at this chart, it's got meaning, which does this make sense, structure, does it sound right, and visual, does it match the print. And then it gives you specific examples to each side to help you with MSV. It also, this particular screenshot I took directly off of a test that I had given a student, and the student made a substitution error, and so then I had to code, was that a meaning, structure, or visual cue that that student was using? And I found that it was a structure cue and a visual cue that they were using. So they're really using these two. And what we want to do is wean them off of that so they can become better readers and to really look at the word more closely. So DPI has suggested that MSV be completed on the last instructional level performed on each child for the beginning, middle, and end of the year. That does not mean that you have to go back. If I'm testing Johnny and he's already read 3 books with me and keeps moving up, you only need to do the MSV on the last instructional level that it stopped on, and that's the only time you need to do the MSV. And remember, once you've go to the summary page that looks like this, it'll have an MSV tab right over here. If you click on that, that's where you can code your MSVs. Also, this is what the chart looks like once you've done your coding. And I can see here that 80% has been done correctly. They've self-corrected 3% with an error rate of 16%. And so you can see it will code. This student is using more meaning cues than the other 2 cues. So they're just substituting words that still hold the meaning of the sentence. So please make sure that when you do MSV, that you use the data that comes with it, that you look at the reading record and know exactly the errors your students are making, because that can guide you in your guided reading groups to help with instruction. Testing this year, all benchmark assessments in K3 will be completed by another teacher in your grade level, which I mentioned earlier, and you will need to see your instructional coach for that schedule. And the classroom teacher, however, can do his or her own progress monitoring this year. This Wednesday, August the 27th, your instructional coach will be reviewing this presentation with you, and you will also be doing a written comprehension activity to follow your discussion from this presentation. And this will help analyze student written response for the written comprehension piece and to ensure fidelity when you're scoring. So I would like to wish you happy testing, and remember, keep calm even during those really trying times when you're trying to get all that progress monitoring done. So keep calm and put on a happy face. Please see your instructional coach if you have questions. Thank you.